Hello, this is Stef. Today we're going to compile libvpx. Libvpx is a library that allows us to encode and decode videos under the VP8 and VP9 codecs. These are more modern codecs and conceived a bit more recently compared to the most known like H.264, H.265, etc. And these are the basis for other codecs, for example, image codecs. We're going to see this during this video. And then we're going to see how to compile it under Windows that you see already behind me. So enough talk, we can get started. Okay, so before getting started with our hands-on compiling libvpx, we're going to see first what is libvpx. So libvpx is, first link is the GitHub mirror to the main repository that is, as you can see, provided by Google source. And we can get back and see the Wikipedia page about libvpx. So libvpx is a free software video codec library from Google and the Alliance for Open Media, AOM Media. It serves as a reference software implementation for the VP8 and VP9 video coding formats. And for AV1, a special fork named libaom that was stripped of backwards compatibility. So AV1 is nowadays the standard for lossless encoding and decoding for videos. So if you want to, for example, to digitize footage from something that was analog, so one of the choices may be AV1 because it provides a good ratio of compression, and on the other hand, it is also so doesn't provide any loss of information. Anyway, one of the bases, so why do we want to get this? Because, okay, it was used also in the past by YouTube. So remember in the past videos that were encoded and decoded with the VP8 and or VP9. And it is also important because VP8 is the basic for the WebP images. So now you see a lot of WebP images on the web that wants a bit to replace the JPEG, PNG, etc. So if you take a look at WebP, that is a raster graphics file format developed by Google. And as you can see here in the technology, you see that it is based on the intraframe coding of the VP8 video format. So just it, and just take a look how important it is, even if it is not so known like the other codecs that we saw in the past, like H.264, H.265, etc. What we want to do now is to open the MSVC shell with all the environment variables related to CL, MSVC, etc. So this is something we've already done in the past. So we have the Windows terminal, or we can go directly here and check x64 native tools command prompt for VS 2022. Or if you would like, as I have my Windows terminal. I have the link down here with x64 native tools command prompt. It's exactly the same thing. So once we open it, we have our environment variables already loaded for all the case. In fact, for example, if I make a CL from here, it opens everything right here with everything configured. So now we want to open MSVC2. So we can go to C, MSVC64, and now we have the MSVC shell. First, take a look if the inherit has been enabled. So we can take a look at it by taking a look at the folder. So now I'm going to navigate into sys M64 right down here, and we've got to take a look that msys2 shell opens the right folder. So here we have it right here. And here at the top, we should have this uncommented. So set msys2 path type equals to inherit. So something I already said in the past, but better safe than sorry. And then we can open our terminal. In the end, we have another window we can open. We then close the previous, and then we can go. I let it open right here. So this is the state of the FFmpeg build folder, and I remember you the build folder where we have our compiled material, the installed folder where we have the libraries as they will be taken by the FFmpeg compiling, and I remember you that our final aim is to compile FFmpeg along with ffplay and all the necessary libraries, the ones that we want. So H264, H265, libvpx, and then the sources where we have our source code. So first of all, we are navigating to the folder we would like to go and compiling. Then I'm going to change into the sources folder. Here we have already x264 and x265. What we would like to do is to clone the source code from the repository. So this is the URL of the repository. We can make our old command git clone. If you don't want the whole history of your of this source code, so you take a snapshot of the last version, you can put depth1. If you don't want, you want the whole history, we can take git clone without any flags. So we can go on. Okay, so next step, what we would like to do is to go into the build folder. So we can go to cd, we can go up one level and then go to build. But first of all, let's check if we have it on the sources. If we go on the libvpx, let's see, we have everything, good. So we can go on 2 levels into the build folder, good. And also here we have x264 and x265. What we want to do is to create a folder called libvpx, and then we change into that folder, libvpx. The folder is empty. So what we would like to do is now configure the building using the command that is available on the sources, and it should be okay on the libvpx, and this is on the configure. So as you can see, it is also up here. You have the configure right into the main folder. So I'm making a mess with the windows. And now we have a bit of flags, because first of all, what we want is the target where we want our build. So the target, I mean the operating system and the type of, so if it is 32 or 64, and the type of processor that we have. So my target is by using the target flag, and we have x86 underscore 64 win 64 vs17. We enable the static compiling, so we have a blob with the libraries and not so. In the end, the application will have all the libraries included within the application itself, so it doesn't have DLLs and other dynamic libraries around. The other thing that we want is the MSVCRT. So enable static MSVCRT. Then there are also some examples and something that you can take in consideration if you want to compile your own, let's say, programs that use the libvpx library. If you don't want them, you can take disable examples. Then if you don't want the other tools, so now we want the pure library like this, we can disable the tools. You can also disable the docs if you would like. Then there are also unit tests. And if you want to disable them, there is a disable unit test. And also we put our prefix. The prefix will be the location where we want our library to be installed. So it is 2 levels up under the FFmpeg build, then installed, and then libvpx. So if the command is correct, we can execute it by typing enter. And in fact, it is wrong. It is not unit test, but it is unit tests. Sorry for that, guys. Okay, so it created the configuration for our make. So finally we can make. It shouldn't take so long. Now we are waiting until the result is completed. Okay, so the compiling has been done. Next step is to install. That we essentially take the important, the ones that they will be taking consideration, libraries and files, into the install folder. So we can make install. And if we take a look here under the installed, we have libvpx finally, with the include and the lib, with all the things as they should be. vpx with the include files and the lib with the library. Just one thing that we are not ready yet. The thing that you have to do for FFmpeg to include this library within itself is to rename this vpx empty into vpx. Okay, so after that, I'll put the command in the description with the move from vpx empty to vpx.lib. Also, another thing that we have to mention is that now here in the installed, there are the libraries for the release version. If you want the debug version, these are available on the build, libvpx, x64. Now here you have the distinction between debug and release, so we can go to debug, and here you have vpx mtd .lib. So if you want to take this, you can take it. So these are with the debug definitions. If you want the release, you can take the release. So got to say that later we are not going so deep in debugging the libvpx libraries, because first of all, I don't know so much about these libraries, but if you want them and you want to get deeper also with this while you are debugging using FFmpeg, you can take the vpx mtd. Okay, and we compiled also libvpx, so the library provided by Google to encode and decode the VP8 and VP9 codecs. And now the next steps will be, since we want to compile also So you want to have FFplay also in the compilation of the FFmpeg, we need libstdl. So this will be the next step. So now for the moment we can stop here. So thank you very much for reaching up to this point. If you would like, you can like, share and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Leave a comment if you would like, if you need to discuss about something, and see you later for other things regarding video decoding, multimedia, but also much more. Ciao.